Let me show you a card trick. But before I do, I'm going to tell you right now, the other day when I bought this deck of cards, I got this really weird ass, look at this. I got this weird ass promotional card, but I discovered it can do something pretty cool. Okay, let me show you this. Chris, going to go through the cards here, all right? As we are often going to do here on the channel. I'm going to go through the cards, and at some point, why don't you say werewolf 3 times. Werewolf, werewolf, werewolf. Very quickly, here we go, as I go through.
Werewolf, werewolf, werewolf.
You're mumbling, but I'm hopefully. Okay, remember that card. Keep it in your mind, in your psyche, in your mind. Oh, sorry, damn, I didn't shuffle the cards. Let me shuffle the cards, because I know people don't trust me unless I give the cards a bit of a shuffle. Okay, make your mind a blank. Here we go again. I'll go through. You say Frankenstein is my... say stop anytime.
Stop.
Okay, good. Take a look at the card. Remember the card. That's the card we're gonna work with. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, I'll put the card case away in my pocket. We got the deck. We got this. Now watch this. Watch this. This is so strange. Keep your eye on this, because all I have to do is shift this and look. Boom. There is the card. It's the weirdest thing. I got this, and I thought to myself, just going to get the card case here. I thought to myself, there's got to be some way to do this, not just once, but twice. Do you remember that? When I first had you call stop at a card initially. You said first, stop. Think of that card. Keep it in mind. Watch the pattern. Your mind's going to do it. The power, here it is, the power of your imagination. Again, there's the card you have in mind. This card can be closely examined, and it is a guaranteed freak fest. You saw it with your very own eyes. 1 second, it looks just like a grid pattern on a card. The next, boom, there is the name of a playing card, okay? And you're gonna be able to print these cards out yourself. At the end of the video, I'll show you where. But it was so important for me. Chris and I were here in the studio, and I've done this a zillion times, mostly one-on-one with people, or 2 or 3 people, when they are close to me. But Chris and I were here in the studio experimenting, and we realized that on camera, actually, from a distance, the camera's a funny thing as always, the optics of the lens, it's not as deceptive. From a distance, you can see it. I mean, look, let me take this, okay? I mean, almost no matter how I hold this, it's very hard to not see the 7 of clubs on it from a distance and on camera. But you saw it with your own eyes close up, and that's very important for you to remember. At the very beginning, when you saw that, it looked like real magic. Now, this is a principle I've been keeping to myself for a long time. It's not original with me. I came across it in a Scientific American magazine about a bazillion years ago. I usually only do this with 1 card, okay? Let's say I want to reveal 7 of clubs, and again, I know on camera you're thinking, how does that even, what is the angle? But close up, when you print these off yourself and you play with them, you'll be able to see that close up, this works every time, and you'll show it to a friend and he'll freak out and you'll believe in the principle. Now, so if I'm only going to force 1 card, it's very easy, of course. I talk about this being a weird promo thing. I don't know what exactly it is. Maybe it's a misprint of something. It's supposed to be an advertisement or whatever. It came with the deck of cards. Now, I love the fact that this whole thing, self-contained, okay, makes for a great opener. You can have your force card, say, on top of the deck, spill this out and either show this casually and put it away, or you can go right into the trick. You don't have to do it, which I love. So I often have a setup card on top and this there, and I can start my set with it or not. And again, this works best for a small group, 1-on-1 or 1 and 2 people in a bar or something like that. But if you want to do the repeat, then, and I think the repeat is so dramatic, it's a different setup. So let's say, got the 3 on top, the 7 on the bottom. Okay, that's my setup. And I'm going to have whatever one I want to switch in. Okay, let's say I'm going to start revealing the 3 first. I'm going to have the card in my left pants pocket, because I'm going to do an in-the-pocket switch. Now, there's lots of different ways you can do this, but let's say I start like this. Okay, got my 2 cards set up. That's there like that. I come out and I take out the cards and sort of casually mention, I go, oh yeah, this is a weird I don't know what this is, some sort of misprint. I don't know what it is. And again, I know, so you kind of flash this and drop this on. Now, I have found in experimentation that if I leave the card on the table this way, it's definitely easier for people to see than if I tilt it this way, okay? Sometimes I'll even take it out and drop the card case on it like that. You can do that if you're going to do the 1 card. But if you do the 2 card, this is what I do. That's there. The card case goes into my pocket, all right? I'm here. I go through the cards, and this is on top. I cut the pack, keep a pinky break, right? Riffle the edges until they call stop. They call stop. Thumb off the top card, the bottom. So I want them to see the 3. Then I complete the cut. My force card's there. Then what I do is I go, oh, wait a second, and I either put and double undercut the 7 to the bottom, or having just sewn that, do this, so the 7's already on the bottom, and I go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't shuffle the deck. And now I'm going to pretend to shuffle the deck, and I'm going to do the Hindu shuffle. This is a beginner level shuffle, and all I'm doing is holding the cards, thumb and middle fingertip at the back corners, then pulling off the top, all right? Now, my force card's on the bottom. So I can either pull from the middle of the deck some cards and mix them up like this without disturbing the bottom few cards of the pack. That's what's cool about this. I'm basically pulling them off the top and plopping it in, and again. So the bottom cards are staying undisturbed. Or when I say I should have shuffled the deck, I can immediately go into this, just like this. They're coming off the top, they're coming off the top, and you say stop whenever you want. They say stop, and I say, great, okay, take a look at that. Now, speaking of optical illusions, this is another sweet thing because it looks like, okay, it's a real mess, but you're not disturbing this at all, so they can call stop whenever they want, and you just casually show them that, and you're done. So what you've done is have them pick a card, then go, oh, forget about that, and you go through and you say, now that's the card I want you to remember. So you've planted a psychological seed, a memory, which I love. Now, the deck's there. Then I pick this up, and again, one-on-one, you'll see this is really shocking for people. All these lines line up and people see the 3, and people crap themselves. I mean, they visibly see those crazy lines turn into a card they're merely thinking of. Now, everybody stops. Everybody examines this. Okay, boom. All I do when I take this back, and I say, let me show you something else, and I take this back, and it doesn't really matter which way it's facing, but let's say I take it, and I say, let me show you something else, and I go to my pockets, both hands go to my pockets, and I'm apparently just getting the card case, okay? Boom. But what I've done is I've switched the 2 cards here. Okay? Drop that on the table. Put the case away like this. You're there like that. And then you turn to the person and go, wait a second. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I did it once. Can I do it again? Okay. Wasn't there you saw a card before that one, right? Did anybody remember that card? Maybe, again, if you're only doing it for 2 people, maybe the girlfriend or the boyfriend or whoever remembers the card. Then you're here again like this. And you get to, again, do this kind of thing where you turn it and flatten it out, and in front of them, this darn card morphs a second time into the second selection. In just a moment, I'm going to do one of my click things and show you where you can click to get the free PDF to print out your... Now, you're going to get 3 cards. You're going to get the 2 reveals, the 7 of clubs and the 3 of clubs, plus a total gibberish card that you might want to switch in at the end or at the beginning, whatever, so people can examine it, and then you can do a single switch if you want. The fact that this is something that you can print off and leave it as a souvenir for people. You can even, if you want to, for those of you who are sort of want to start working at parties and this kind of thing, print your name, print your name. Have your name and phone number on the back of this sucker. I mean, what a great PR piece and a beautiful piece of magic. Scissors, paper, the devil. The destroyer of human souls in the house party. People, give it up. If you want those free PDF files, click right there.